What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.
Wolverine. I'm gonna pop my claws out. All right. Welcome, true believers, back to another episode of Bad Cinema. For today, we will be reviewing the movie Deathrace 2000, starring David Carradine, Sylvester Stallone, and a few other people that I forgot the guy's name, but I think Jeff will remember his name. I can't say his name right, but let's bring on Big Jeff. It's Adamantium Blade Comic Collectibles. I think I said your name right. I apologize. I call you ABCC.
Yeah.
Or just Big Jeff. Everybody call you Big Jeff.
Yeah, Big Jeff is easiest.
All right. So we're gonna get into it. I think we should watch the. Should we watch the trailer first, or should I share the Wikipedia first?
I would go trailer and then Wikipedia.
All right. Let's. We're gonna show you the trailer for Deathrace 2000. This is film. This film was made in 1975. It's produced by the one and only Rodger Corman. And like I said, starred David Carradine, a young Sylvester Stallone, probably one of his first roles. And what's his name? The guy from Karate Kid, Kreese. What's his first name? John?
Well, I don't know. Let me look up his real name real quick.
Right.
If I can find it.
But anyway, it's the guy that said sweep the leg, no mercy.
Yeah. It's Sensei John Kreese from Karate Kid.
That's right. Oh, John Kreese, who also was in Rambo Part 2, if you remember.
Yeah,
he's been in a lot of movies. He always plays a dick, usually.
Yeah, or like some type of military related,
That look, right? He got that look, like,
that face, that real mean mug face.
Yeah. You just got that kind of face, like the a-hole. Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. Let me get this playing here. And now this may be a bit choppy because I have trouble sometimes doing this, but this is the trailer. It's only like 50 seconds. We usually get away with playing the trailer.
The year 2000. America is a vast speed. People line in the streets to witness.
Yeah.
They didn't like it, huh? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's happy playing the trailer. Did I lose you? I think you're frozen. I don't know. On my end, it looked
all the violence in it.
On my end,
it looked good. I couldn't see it. So.
Yeah, on my end, I don't know if what that means for the video, but for my end, it was kind of choppy and it froze a little bit.
Yeah, I can't share anything. That's why I usually have to have Kevin or somebody do it if they're here, but they're not here. So I got some clips that are already preloaded though, so we can do that. I hear Cliff talking in the background. It went to another video. Okay. Now we'll share the. Now this probably no page though. I hope. It don't look like it. I can't do nothing. It looks like. All right. There we go. You know what's funny? The internet was working fine until I tried to. Until we started. It always does that. I don't know why. There we go.
I wonder if it's when you start streaming and you bring in another person like me or whatever, I wonder if it puts more of a load.
Let's see if we can get this to come up.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right. Deathrace 2000, a 1975 American film, is a dystopian science fiction action film directed by Paul Martel and produced by Rodger Corman for New World Pictures. Set in a dystopian American society in the year 2000. You know what? It's funny. Like everything was the year 2000 in the 70s, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
And
that was the future.
Really 2000. Yeah. The film centers on the murderous transcontinental road race, in which participants score points by striking and killing pedestrians. Do you think that's where everybody got that saying? You know how everybody be driving and act like they're going to hit something when they're joking when they say 2 points?
Yeah.
I wonder if they got that from that.
Probably.
Anyway, David Carradine plays a guy named Frankenstein. He's the leading champion of the race who is targeted by an underground rebel movement seeking to abolish the race. The cast also features Sylvester Stallone, Simone Griffith, Mary Warnovo, Martin Cove. That might be him, I think. And
Martin Cove is Sensei John Kreese.
Yeah, okay. Noting the publicity surrounding the film Rollerball, which came out in 1975, Rodger Corman sought to develop his own futuristic sports action film and optioned the rights to I.B. Machuro's 1956 short story, The Racer. Paul Bartel was hired to direct the film, and it was released on April 27th, 1975. It initially received mixed critical reviews, but was a considerable commercial success, grossing over $5 million with a sub $1 million budget, which to me is pretty impressive that they were able to pull off what they did with a sub $1 million budget in 1975. I mean, I know it's not the best, but like the cars look pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah, I liked the I guess you would call it, the set construction or whatever, the props or whatever. The cars were cool looking. They were fun. It was like watching
hey Mark,
futuristic Hot Wheels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if they had Hot Wheels of this, I would have bought them. You know what I mean? I would have had them when I was a kid because
it had really like cool. Knives and guns and stuff.
Yeah, and what I liked was also he's called Frankenstein, and his car is called the Monster. And a really cool car. It looks like a monster. And so, it's like, I guess, a play on the Frankenstein movie. And
yeah. And the what was it? The plot twist was his co-pilot or whatever you want to call her. I guess she was supposed to she's supposed to sabotage him, but they fall in love or something.
Of course, yeah, because who can resist David Carradine, right, Jeff?
Yeah. This
although I don't really think he's that. I don't know. He's not all that, but I guess David Carradine was, I guess, a ladies' man back then, though, huh? In the years,
was popular.
Yeah. He's from a acting family. It's like an acting dynasty. His brother, his father, I think, even maybe his grandfather. It's like the Barrymores. Their dad was in the movie Grapes of Wrath. He was the preacher.
Yeah.
John
Carradine,
a
Hollywood family.
Name. Yeah, and he was
always
in a lot of but they're like the Barrymores. It's like a dynasty, an acting dynasty family. It says that in the years since its release, critics have praised the film's political and social satire, and it has developed a strong cult following. It spawned a 2008 remake entitled Deathrace and a 2017 sequel film called Deathrace 2050. Yeah, I saw Deathrace. It's got Jason Statham. Wasn't that great? I don't think This is after the world clash of. This is the plot. After the world crash of 1979, massive civil unrest and economic ruin occurred. This was what was going on at the time, right? So you got to think, like 74, mid 70s, you had Watergate had just happened, and Gerald Ford had to be president. Was president and assumed the office, and then you had you remember we had the inflation, right? And there was gas prices. People had to ration fuel. And I remember that there's a thing that President Carter famously said that we have a confidence problem in this country. And, the Cold War was raging and there was high inflation. And, it looked like things were getting kind of bleak there for a minute. We could argue that's kind of happening again. But anyway, massive civil unrest, economic ruin. The United States government is restructured into a totalitarian regime. under martial law. And to pacify the population, the government has created the Transcontinental Road Race, where a group of drivers race across the country in their high-powered cars, and which is infamous for violence, gore, and innocent pedestrians being struck and killed for bonus points. In 2000, the 5 drivers in the 20th annual race, who all adhere to professional wrestling style personas, of course, and drive themed cars, include Frankenstein, the mysterious black garb, kind of dressed like a gimp, champion, and a national Machine Gun Joe Viterbo, a Chicago gangster, Calamity Jane, a cowgirl, and Matilda the Hun, a neo-Nazi, and Nero the hero, a Roman gladiator. Joe, the second place champion, is the most determined to defeat Frankenstein and win the race. And of course, he's played by Stallone. Of course, there's a resistance group. It's a descendant of, I thought that's what they were saying, Thomasina Paine, who is a descendant of American Revolutionary War hero Thomas Paine. I remember anything about that time period. He wrote the book called, I think it was called Common Sense, right, Jeff?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm kind of a history buff. Anyway, so what they're trying to do is the plot is like the resistance wants to capture Frankenstein, who is, the most popular driver, and hold him hostage so that they don't have the totalitarian government anymore. And also there's like some undertones of like Roman Empire. They had we were talking about this before we went on live. The Roman Empire had, it's murder when you score. Hey, Aaron.
What's up, Aaron?
It's not murder when you score. That's right. And like she's even got groupies that offer themselves to him, like to kill him. Mm-hmm. It's really creepy. She's like wearing an F on her shirt, And anyway, we got a clip from that. But like, it's really like in the gladiatorial games, that was to keep people distracted from like, as long as they kept them fed and kept them entertained, they could pacify the Roman citizens.
Yeah, and, we were talking about earlier off screen before the stream started.
Yeah, exactly.
The book by Noam Chomsky called "Manufacturing Consent," talking about how big entertainment, big sports, stuff like that is meant to keep a population attention over here, not what the government's doing.
And one could argue that football could be considered that sometimes. People are like, I don't care what's going on as long as it's football season.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so a navigator turns out to be Thomasina Paine's, I think, granddaughter or something.
I think, daughter.
Yeah, so she's trying to work with him, but she ends up falling in love with him. Let me read the cast here, and then we'll get into some clips to talk about it. It's like directed by Paul Bartel, screenplay by Robert Tom and Charles B. Smith, based on the short story The Racer from 1956 from Ib Melchior. The producer is Rodger Corman, and it stars David Carradine, Sylvester Stallone, Simon Griffiths, Louisa Moritz, and Don Steele. The cinematographer was Tak Fujimoto, edited by Tina Hirsch. Music by Paul Chihara. Production company was New World Pictures. I think that was owned by Corman. And the budget was like $300,000 to $530,000, but it grossed $5 to $8 million, which is pretty good for a budget like that.
That's real good.
That's real good. And so it's like one of those like grindhouse type things, really cool. All right. So there we got that we went through the plot outline and everything.
You got to think back in 1975, I guess that's when it's released. That means they were making it in 73, 74 or whatever. $500,000, $800,000. That's a lot of money back then. And for it to make, what did it say? 5 million, 8 million?
Yeah, 5 to 8 million. Yeah.
5 to 8 million. That's a home run for that studio. It's almost 10x,
And we got some movie poster art here. I really like the movie poster art. It's pretty cool. It's like I love the 70s movie posters. I thought they were really cool. Like Frazetta did a lot of that stuff too back in the day.
Yeah, there's so many great artists and that made a lot of these movie posters, and this generation doesn't know who they are. I don't know who a lot of them are, but I love those painted ones.
The movie The Gauntlet, that movie poster was painted by Frank Frazetta.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now Carradine's got this mask and it looks like he's horribly scarred, but it's just like trying to ruse, like I guess he's suckering people to think he's like harder than he is or something. But he looks like kind of when I saw him though, I thought of Pulp Fiction when they're in the pawn shop and he's like, bring out the Gimp. The Gimp's sleeping. Well, you better wake him up.
Sorry about that.
And so let's go through some more shots here. I like this one. You know, you got the sexy girl. We got Carradine here, and there's Stallone on the over his shoulder.
Yeah,
that one's kind of cool. They got all these cool promo posters, and then here's like the reporters. And this guy right here on the right of Carradine is probably the most obnoxious character in the film, in my opinion. And I wasn't really bothered by what happened to him at the end of it. Here's Stallone as Machine Gun Joe, and he's got a machine gun. Or as they used to call in the 1930s, I think they called that Tommy gun a Chicago typewriter. And here's a look at the car. Here's Stallone's car right here on the left. And then you got the monster car with Frankenstein with the teeth. But like, look at this. He's got like, which is ironic. It's a kind of foreshadowing, Jeff. He's got a giant Rambo knife on the front of his car.
Got a K-bar on it.
You know what I mean?
Giant K-bar on the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those cars though.
I remember, Bobby, like when the first victim, they go to the reporter woman goes to like has her own goes. She's a close personal friend, and like the woman wins a prize for her husband being the first victim, the first score. They don't call it victims; they call it scores. They don't really, yeah.
And you get more points if they're elderly or babies or whatever.
Yeah. Like they get 70 for a baby, unfortunately. But that we'll come back to that. But like, you know what? I don't know if they made any Matchbox cars or Hot Wheels. Or if there was like a model car, like a die-cast car of this, I would buy it because it looks pretty cool.
Oh,
and then you got what's her name? She's like a cowgirl, Calamity Jane, and her car looks like a cow. It's got horns on it, and she dresses in her little cute cowgirl outfit. And of course, what's his name? I call him Sensei Kreese because that's how I know him. He's like a Roman, like gladiator. And then you have I can't remember what's her name again, but she's like a neo-Nazi, and it's got like Nazi emblems on her car. It looks like a German like Messerschmitt, doesn't it? They kind of make it look like a Messerschmitt,
German military vehicle.
Yeah, some kind of military. It's got like the gray kind of camouflage that the Germans would use.
That was the one that looked like it had like a cannon out in the front. Yeah. I was waiting. I was thinking, man, are they going to do a scene where they use that cannon and blow somebody up? But it never came.
You had like a thing. It makes it look like he's got a scar and something's wrong, like he's got a hair lip or something.
Yeah.
And then we got there he is. There's Sensei. No mercy.
Look how young he is.
I know, man. It's got to be his first role. I mean, I don't know. It's got to be one of his first roles. And you know what? I know this is not the movie, but in honor of that, I got to play this clip because I couldn't believe that the Sensei was in it for Cobra Kai.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that? No, Sensei?
Honestly, though, when it comes to playing the heel in role, Martin Cove, Sensei Kreese, isn't he great at it?
He's good at being a total asshole. Yeah, he's
made for it.
How about the bull? Yeah, the guy's trying to go Toro to a car, and like, how could you miss him so much? Why is she missing him anyway? Couldn't you just swerve the car over and hit him? Get it.
Who was it that planted a mine in the ground and kind of half buried it or whatever?
Yeah.
Was it Calamity Jane that wound up?
Yeah, unfortunately,
because of her.
Yeah.
I liked her too. She was cool.
And we got some clips here, like Stallone's a total. But here's what I meant by this guy being annoying as hell. Is the one of the reporters.
Machine Gun Joe the Terrible, that funny man from Chicago, has scored.
That funny man from Chicago. And then, Stallone, like I said, he's a total prick in the whole movie, too.
Whatever happens, whoever wins.
They save it for the French.
He's slapping his old lady around and just being a.
Although there's a funny one where he says, this is what we meant by the way he treats his old lady. Look.
Myra, some people might think you're cute. But me, I think you're one very large baked potato. Roaring down.
And Sensei Creasy doesn't last very long in the movie though.
No,
these people like set him up a little baby, a toy baby, trying to trick him because a baby's worth 70 points, and but they got an explosive in it, and he's like, and this is the scene where he bites the farm.
Myra, some people.
Here it is.
Don't get baby.
Bye, baby.
Hello, 70 points.
And when he runs over, it blows up. He's like, bye, baby.
That same facial expression of sweep the leg. Bye, baby.
Yeah, the movie does have a thing. It's like, like you need to be like, there's bad stuff goes on. It's got a political statement to it, obviously. There's this is like we said during the time of Watergate and all that stuff was going on with the what do they have it called? Was it called hyperinflation?
Yeah.
And then we had gas rationing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Lines at the gas pumps.
Yeah. My mom told me about that. I was too young, obviously, to.
Yeah, I was a baby.
And then we got Stallone here, like being a jerk.
And that is the end of it.
I got just 2 words to say about that.
Oh? Bullshit!
And the government too. It's also kind of reminds you of what a government does like that. Like when the rebels are doing it and they know that, but they tell everybody, "Oh, it's the French is attacking us."
Yeah.
So they didn't want nobody to know what was going on. And he even Stallone tries to strangle Carradine's navigator. Wow.
How does it feel to know you're going to spend the rest of your life in pain? The rest of your life. It's about a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's some world-class acting right there.
Yeah.
About a minute and a half.
Yeah. Minute and a half. I thought he was going to say, "Yo, Adrian," any minute.
But just the look of the costumes and the styles and how all of it just brings me back to, like I was saying earlier off screen, being a little kid and it's summertime and your parents are asleep and you sneak out and you watch TV you're not supposed to watch. These are the kind of movies that we're on because there's violence and sometimes some skin.
Hey, Faye, what are you doing? Yeah, we're just talking about this Sly. Yeah, he beats the crap out of Sly though after he catches her trying to kill his navigator. Yeah. He's like beats him down. He's like, "I'm gonna get you." So see, Joe doesn't want to just win; he wants to kill Frankenstein in it. And then there's a weird thing in it. There was one clip that I had to boot out because the girl's like showing her butt in it. Like she's laying on the bed, but he's like.
Yeah.
She asked him why do you do this? He goes, "Well, I was created to do this." So he's been I guess genetically enhanced to drive this sports car or something. And so then we got more they claim the French are attacking them. And here is more evidence of how this guy is the most annoying character in the film.
Well, America, there you have it. Frankenstein has just been attacked by the French Air Force, and he's whipped their derrieres. His point total for
Too much.
He's just a little bit excuse me.
Bless you.
You're
allergic. You're allergic to his over the top full ham acting.
Yeah, I mean, he went way over the top. Just I don't know where he went to school for acting.
What was the name of that actor? I believe he was in Cannonball Run and some of them other 70s, 80s movies. And he had big, thick, square glasses. And I can't remember.
Is it Marty Feldman? He was in Young Frankenstein.
I'm not sure. But he always played a real over-the-top, flamboyant, type character.
That could be.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Somebody in the chat knows who I'm talking about, maybe.
I still think it's funny.
Come get baby.
Bye bye, baby. Hello, somebody point.
Bye
But
bye. I just like the way he says bye bye, baby.
bye bye, baby. Overall, though, for that kind of movie at that time on that budget, you got David Carradine, you got Martin Cove. Of course, he's new to Hollywood. Sylvester Stallone's still new to Hollywood at that
He's
point.
a year away from doing Rocky. It's a year before he was.
Yeah.
He sold the screenplay to Rocky.
Yeah, and I thought the movie moved well. There was enough action, and it wasn't the tricks and stunts and whatever. They weren't so terrible that you're sitting there like, oh, is this over yet? It was entertaining.
Yeah,
it was good.
It's like 108. It's only like 118 minutes in runtime. So, and it was like fast paced. Now there were some like, I agree. It's a pretty good movie especially for that time period for a Rodger Corman film, because he would like just do them like real quick, and put them out, just pump them out. Corman pumped out the movies, on a shoestring budget. So you got to admire for that. And like another thing about Rodger Corman, the producer, a lot of Hollywood actors and directors got their first shot to direct or act in a film because of him. There was a movie called The Trip that had he had people like Peter Fonda and Jack Nicholson got his start doing Corman films. Ron Howard was the first movie he ever directed was for Rodger Corman. And the other up and coming out Stallone and everybody in this movie, they're probably one of their first roles, so it was a good way for people to get something on their resume,
when you look at big, quote unquote, big stars, they all started somewhere in a commercial or in a Deathrace 2000 type movie or something that wasn't a huge hit right off the get,
Yeah, Tom Selleck, he got his start doing commercials. So did John Travolta.
Yeah.
And, like he used to do I remember he used to do like Stetson commercials. It was like the bad smelling cologne. Stetson, the best a man can get, I think is what they used to say.
Yeah.
I like this right here. He says Jesus Christ.
Chrysler.
Jesus Christ. The guy runs over a priest. And there's another clip that I couldn't find a clip for, but there's a part where I don't know if anybody watched it remembers, but like you see these nurses and doctors wheeling all these elderly people out in wheelchairs and gurneys and put them in the middle of the street. And so Carradine and his navigator are driving down the road, and she goes, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, it's Euthanasia Day at the geriatric hospital. They do this every year." But then Carradine fakes them out and does a quick swerve and goes up on the sidewalk and just runs over all the nurses and doctors and leaves the old people alone, which I thought was pretty cool, because he's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm not going to do it." It's kind of like that Rage Machine song, "If you, I won't do what you tell me." Yeah. Like I'm going to we're going to do an audible. So
it kind of endears you to his character. Like, he's going after
maybe he's kind of you think maybe he's kind of fed up with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's like, because I don't think he likes what's going on either, but he kind of enjoys the race, I guess.
Yeah.
What's Bobby saying? George Clooney started on The Facts of Life, and that's a fact of life. But yeah, he was also on Roseanne. He dated Roseanne.
He was on Roseanne. Yep.
I can't remember his name, but Booker or something like that. I can't remember. He was also how the reporters seemingly instantly know when a score happens. Yeah, I know. Well, it must have been like they had some way of knowing. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense. But so at a certain point in the movie, Carradine gets suspicious because they keep running into ambushes, that maybe his navigator is not on his side, right? But she starts to fall in love with him, and she tells him what's going on. They want to kidnap him and take him hostage and use him as a bargaining chip against the dictatorial president they have. And they don't like, because they don't like what's going on with this race. It's kind of like, also, I guess it's kind of like maybe a weird, because they said there was a lot of economic problems and stuff happened. like it's almost like a form of like remember like the Hunger Games, like tribute. Like these people are like, and it's like they don't really. It's like an honor to be killed. Like they like the guys that gets killed, the first guy that gets the first score, and the widow. They give her a prize like a apartment at Acapulco and a brand new TV and stuff. And so it's like a tribute, like how like in the Hunger Games, like I said. And but it's also got like I could see how maybe films like Mad Max were probably maybe partially been an inspiration for this.
I think absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, because you got the cars and dystopian future, although they're in the wasteland, but still I believe that maybe the guy that directed those movies, I can't remember his name right off I think it's something Miller. Probably might have been influenced by this because that's a few years before he did his film. And of course, you had movies like this all through the 70s, though, right? They were like a dystopian future, like Rollerball.
Yeah. The first thing I thought of when I saw it and I started watching it, I was like, this is prelude to Cannonball Run, and
it's kind of like
things like that.
Cannonball Run and Mad Max had a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
But like they had movies like Logan's Run and Soylent Green and stuff like that, which was like a dystopian future where like people are killed or sacrificed for the greater good. And it's I don't know, man. It had a deeper meaning, even though it's kind of there's a lot of over the top acting, especially Stallone is way over the top. He's like amped up to like 50 or something. Like I don't know. And then we got this is that what's her name, the Thomasina.
I have made the United Provinces of America the greatest power in the known universe. I have also.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen the series Ozark.
Yes,
I don't know if it rings a bell.
Yeah,
they've got an evil woman evil character woman in that series. It reminds me of her, but that's a different story.
Here's the clip where he takes his mask off. She realizes he's not disfigured.
What'd you expect? Another pretty face?
Yeah, and is that right after he gave her the drugs that made her fall asleep for half an hour?
No, he was a 30-minute knockout pill or sleep pill. How could they even figure that out? Because he didn't want her like turning on him like when he was trying to get through. They had like a plane attacking him. I don't know what kind of plane that was, but it was a pretty cool looking plane.
It looked like a Cessna or a Piper with some kind of weird front foil on it.
I don't know what they did to it, but yeah. And now some of the driving stunts in this film, they really got on it. Like I don't know how somebody didn't like bite the farm the way they like whoever's driving Stallone's car when he chases the fisherman who thinks he's like Frankenstein, he gets mad and starts running him down. It gets because Stallone gets mad because everybody hates him. Like I think the annoying announcer guy says he's loved by thousands and hated by millions. Yeah, so what do you expect? Another? I like how the princess like we're the greatest power in the known universe. How do you know? We don't know what's going on in Alpha Centauri. Maybe they, but yeah, the known universe and like really like a lot of matte painting stuff too in the background, which was kind of interesting. Yeah, that's what they used to do back then. But yeah, I had fun watching. I got one last clip, and it's like the whole thing. Like I said, it's like these drivers have fans that are like a cult. And like these people are Frankenstein fans, they have an F on their shirt. And this girl basically offers herself to him as a sacrifice. She waits for when he's going to be on the road, and like she stands in the way. And
almost cultish.
The awkward meeting. She has a meeting with her. She's really great. Yeah, it's like a cult.
You want to make love to me because I drive the monster and wear this costume?
No, Mr. Frank.
Got some BDSM overtones there.
Yeah, it's a wild movie. It's a wild movie. And
every time I see him in that black latex or whatever it was get up, I could just hear that guy in Pulp Fiction going, that click on his head.
I know. Yeah, they're Frankenstein Swifties. There you go. Although I kind of like Taylor Swift, but I wouldn't let her run over me with a car. But I might let her do something else. But Travis Kelce might have words with me if I did that. All right. Anyway, so they at the end of it, or coming up to the end of it, she finally agrees to work with her after they get through that attack from the airplane. They're actually their own people, but he's got this is one of the most ridiculous things in the movie to me, because he's got a mechanical arm or something, right?
Yeah, he's got a grenade hand or something.
Yeah, he says a hand grenade. Literally says hand grenade. It's got a pineapple grenade on this metal glove, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go through the winter. He said, I'm going to help you. He's because he don't like the president either. He said the winner always gets to shake the president's hand, and I got the hand grenade. Duh, get it? Hand grenade. And Mr. Frankenstein does score her too. The blonde, who's a very attractive woman, I think. I thought she was.
She was pretty.
Anyway, and they have also, I guess I should say, they have stop points. They'll drive for 12 hours. And they have they all eat together, and there's one scene where they're getting massages. It's really kind of weird. But, okay, so they have a plan, and but then they get attacked by Stallone because there's only two of them left, Calamity Jane and the Nazi chick and the Roman Gladiator dude. They all die. They get killed in these ambushes. Sad. Oh. Anyway, hold on a minute. I gotta turn my camera off for a minute.
All right. I'm trying to think who the first racer to go was. It wasn't.
It's Kreese. It's Kreese.
It's Kreese. It is Kreese. Yeah.
And then the Nazi chick, I think, because she goes off a cliff, and then the Calamity Jane runs over the landmine, which is just crazy the way she ran over. She's backing up. You think she's going to miss it, and then she turns around and hits it, and blows up.
I was surprised. I was thinking that because I grew up, I was a baby when this movie came out, but I was an '80s kid, so Karate Kid and Sensei John Kreese. I was thinking he's going to last longer than, oh, no, he's the first one out. He's gone.
Well, they kind of make fun of it the first of it, like he's just won a bunch of minor league races.
Yeah.
And so then it's and she's even his navigator's kind of a bitch to him.
Yeah.
She's no, he says they just see somebody that's pathetic or something. And or so that's why they never seen somebody something like that. Anyway, so they have to use the hand grenade. They throw it in Sly's car, and it blows them up, which was kind of unceremonial, really. I thought there was going to be a bigger fight there at the, But anyway, so Stallone,
at least go off a cliff or something.
Yeah. Anyway, and what's amazing about these movies? How quickly a car blows up when it flips over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so he can't use the hand grenade on his handshake. He can't do the explosive handshake or whatever. Nope. And he's not going to jihad himself or whatever. I probably shouldn't use that word. We're probably going to get shut down for that. Anyway, but that's basically what he's going to do. And so they come up with another plan. She puts on his costume, and he's basically in his skivvies, hiding in the dash of the car, I guess. And so she goes up and shakes his hand, and then it's her grandmother thinks it's him, thinks she's killed, takes a shot at her and hits her, doesn't kill her, and then here comes Carradine with in his underwear basically, and goes up there and gets in the car and runs up the grandstand. He's on this because the president's on this big high grandstand, kills him. And apparently, I guess it's kind of I don't know. It kind of seems like in WWF when the hardcore title, whoever pins the hardcore champion becomes the hardcore champion, right? So I guess whoever kills the president becomes the president. So then he decides that what are you going to do, President Frankenstein? Which is kind of weird that we have a president now called Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he's married. They're coming out of their wedding. And then, Thomasina Payne's going to be our director of this and that. And we're going to have free elections. and I don't know what this means, but he said minority privilege. I don't know what that meant. I guess it meant that minorities are not in trouble no more or not being persecuted.
Well,
I don't know.
It may have been a social commentary because unless my history is way off, early 70s or late 70s, I think, is when affirmative action started to take root. Don't quote me on that, but around then.
And there was still a lot of in the early 70s too. We just came out of the civil rights era. In the early 70s, we had the Black Panther movement and we'd had the anti-war movement, there was a lot of stuff going on at this time period, even before this film, that probably influences like all those students getting killed at Kent State by the National Guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which some people call the death of the 60s. You had the violence at Altamont Speedway.
Oh man, that was a mess.
Yeah, that was a mess. Those bikers killed that young black man. Yeah, so it was like, and it got out of control. But you know what? I blame the Rolling Stones and the bands for that shit because they thought it was a right idea to get a bunch of drunk Hells Angels to do security for it.
Yeah, it was the Rolling Stones. Yeah, I agree.
Why do you get if anything, and I know you're a former law enforcement, and you probably know more than anybody, the Hells Angels aren't people you want to be trying to protect.
Yeah, you don't want them policing your event.
Because the way they police people is they broke pool cues over their heads.
Yeah, or buried knives into them.
Yeah, yep. So anyway, so you got a lot because we come out of a violent period, like I'm saying. We had, remember like the string of assassinations that happened like consecutively, like Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy,
JFK,
JFK,
RFK,
Malcolm X. Yeah, there was and there was more than that too if you think about it. Like even people that didn't get killed, like remember the former he was a segregationist governor, was it Alabama? What was his name? Wallace. He was shot and paralyzed, like running for president. And and also during that time period of this film, there were 2 assassination attempts on Gerald Ford.
Yeah, and then there was an attempt on Reagan.
Who was a Manson family member, tried to kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby wants to be related to the character Thomasina Payne. So anyway, like we're saying, so I could see where people in the late 60s, the early 70s would be like, man, everything's going to shit. We had the Vietnam War, there was all this violence, and and you saw like back then. Yeah, and back then, like when the reporters went to Vietnam, they could film anything they wanted to. And that doesn't happen now. That they've kind of like compartmentalized it, which, not to get this a political thing, but that can be dangerous too if you're not letting them report the full truth of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think the reason they did that was because that's why they lost the Vietnam War, because they lost the people in the United States for like seeing this on the news every night and said, screw this shit. Why are my kids going over here? Why are the young people going over here for this bull crap? So
when
you got a lot of people that are coming back this time. And there's a lot of
war
violence
and your
that
people
time.
aren't
Like,
behind it.
It hurts. It hurts the whole thing. Should we watch any more clips of it, or should we give our rating? What do you think? I already played all of them, but we could rewatch one if anybody wants to.
I think we would give it our what do you call that little guy? I forgot his name. Ling or Lings Wing. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me?
I'll let you go first. How many on a scale of 1 to 5 wings?
Okay.
What do you give this movie, Jeff?
Well, I watched it last night before I went to bed, and I'm going to give it 5. 5, because it entertained me. I was impressed for the quality of the movie for the time that it was, and I like Sly Stallone. I like Carradine. I like of course Sensei John Kreese. Okay. And it was just, to me, it was a fun movie. It reminds me of being a kid in summertime watching TV that I'm not supposed to watch.
Yeah, exactly. So he gives it 5. I'm going to give it 4 just because the reporter was annoying. But yeah, of course, I guess he's supposed to be, but I'll give it 5 because there was a couple of, I don't know, but it was like one of these movies. Like, see, when we're rating these movies, though, I want everybody watching and who's going to watch the replay to keep this in mind. A bad movie and a B movie, I kind of rate it on a different scale. So that's why we give it 1 to 5 wings. So just because we get 5 wings doesn't mean this is like the next Casablanca or Gone with the Wind or Godfather. So just keep that in mind, guys. So I think we both enjoyed the movie. That's a pretty high rating on both those. And Bobby gives it 5 gives it a 5 and a hand grenade. There you go. All right. I got a hand grenade that was like the fuses took out, my uncle gave me, and it's got a number 1 on it on the pin. And it says it's on a stand, and it says complaint department. Take a number.
Yep.
So that's kind of fun. But I guess does anybody else in there? Well, I really appreciate you guys coming out, and I will tell you what I got going on coming up. Since we're about done, I don't know, I'm about to lose my voice after talking so much the other night for my one show. And then I went on like 3 shows last night. I went to a show about one of my Australian friends named Bo, Omni Bo, on his show Aussieverse, and we talked about WrestleMania for like 2.5 hours, and which was the main event last night. If you're a wrestling fan, was terribly atrocious. Not for the outcome, but just because of the way that it was worked out, which was ridiculous. That you have a rapper, Travis Scott, come out, and he's the one that cost Cody Rhodes the match, which is ridiculous. I don't understand. Where was The Rock at? Anyway, and he's not a very good rapper at that, in my opinion. He's no Ice Cube. All right. Next week, we'll be reviewing the movie on Bad Cinema. We'll be reviewing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So please stay tuned to that. That should be fun. Also, remember my friend Flat Earth Santa. He has his show tonight called Bragging Rights, where people come on. Jeff and me and both have been contestants on this game show. You show 3 books.
It's a good time. It's
a
good time.
3 books and that you picked up in the last week, and you go against 2 other people in the chat, votes on it. So please subscribe to my friend Flat Earth Santa. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, my guest will be for Common Conversation will be Bub's World. He lives in Kentucky as well as I do, and I have actually met Bub in person, and I bought some comic books from him. And so that should be fun. He's a fun guy to hang out with. He's a little bit of a jokester, kind of like me and Jeff, but good guy. And one more thing before I go, and I did a video about this, a short video promoting this, but I'm at 360 subscribers right now, so I'm 40 away from 400. Okay, and I'm going to be doing a big giveaway for 400. So I want
subscribe, guys.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, hit my notification bell. It helps me. Leave comments, but also anybody watching this on the replay or any of this, we got like 3 or 4 people in the chat watching at this point. Spread the word, okay? Because this is the giveaway. Look at this. One person, and I'm going to make sure it's a subscriber. Let me sneeze again. All right. Uncanny X-Men 261. This is the first appearance of Hardcase and the Harriers. You get this. Let's sneeze again. God. Alice Ever After. This is an Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes cover. You get an Adam Hughes cover for this Black Widow book. That's Adam Hughes. Also, I'll throw in Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue 1. Thank you, Bobby. It's going to happen again. Hyde Street number 1. Extreme Venomverse number 3, which is the first appearance of Madam Venom and the first appearance of Black Fang, a prehistoric Venom.
That's a Momoko, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Peach Momoko variant as well.
Yeah, that's a nice cover.
Then we got Extreme Venomverse number 5, which is the first appearance of King Pain, a kaiju Venom, first appearance of Major League Venom, and the first appearance of a venomized Jeff the Land Shark. And we got Tom King's Tales of the Human Target, book 1. Very good book. Very cool. Kind of a James Bond type story.
That guy looked like George Clooney.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, #1. I don't know what volume.
I like that cover.
It's a cool cover. I can't remember the artist on this one, but it's a very nice cover. Very cool. Yeah. And here you go. Yeah, hey, Jeff, I need to add you as a moderator now. There's Amazing Spider-Man 794. That's a West Coast Avengers variant. It looks like the old West Coast Avengers. And I'm sure some of the guys out here, maybe some of the girls, I don't know. I don't judge. May appreciate this one. This is a Savage Tales #1. It's a one-shot. It's a cosplay cover.
Hey.
Alex, I got some Alex Ross to round it out. We got Justice #8. Justice #11. Look at that one. Is that cool? Al Jordan.
That one's good.
And here's another one. I can't really tell what's going on with this one. I think I see Cheetah on there. And I see a lot of the villains. Yeah, there you got Scarecrow. That's pretty cool. And the last one we have is Marvel's issue 2. That's Alex Ross. He does the art inside as well in this one. It's very, very cool. I think it was like a 6-issue series or something.
Nice.
And okay, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something else. But anyway, that's my 400 subscriber giveaway. Thanks, Bobby. Oh, yeah, I got some. I got to get my phone. I don't know where it's at, but I got it. I'm going to add you as a mod while we're sitting here talking. So you can drop links in here. All right. I just got to bring my phone up. All right. So, what do you got going on, Jeff? You got any videos coming out or anything?
No, I haven't been real busy on my channel. I've been having fun just kind of hanging out with you guys and going on your shows, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and to be honest with you, I'm still kind of learning, I have to find a good spot to set up, like your setup. You got your comic book memorabilia behind you and stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now I don't have a good space to, have, I don't know what you want to call it, studio, but in due time, I do want to start trying to come up with some cool stuff. Like I love this show you do, this Bad Cinema. This is awesome. This is great. I love Flather Santa's. I'm sorry. What's the name of it? Where you show you 3 books and
bragging
rights. See, stuff like that's fun. That's fun to me. That's cool. But I'll be coming up with something here in the next few months. I'll figure it out.
Everybody, please sub up if you're not subbed to them already. Adamantium, Blade Comics and Collectibles. One of my good friends now just met you. I guess a month ago. Or a couple months ago. You've been coming on Kevin's show.
Yeah.
And, everything. And anyway, and I love meeting people from all over the United States and abroad. One of my close friends now is from Australia, which is pretty cool. I never thought I would have a good friend from Australia. But I enjoy it. And I just enjoy being on here. It's a good community. We've had
it really is.
There's some negativity, but you know what? People like that are just losers. And, to quote DX, I've got 2 words for people like that. All right. Oh, yeah. And I forgot, Aaron has a claim sale today. I think it's at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern time, I think. I think it's maybe 3. That would be 3 Pacific time. Would it be, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron's on the East Coast, right? I'm trying to remember where everybody's from.
No, he's from Washington State.
Oh yeah, then
it'll be like
6
3
p.m.
Pacific his time.
Yeah,
it'll be 6 p.m.
3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, no, it'll be 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So
I didn't see what he wrote. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, always, and he's got $2 claims. He also has optional bidding and free shipping. So you can't beat that. I can't even offer free shipping. So, and he's a great guy. Cyclotronic squirt gun. Yeah, it's 3 p.m. Pacific. That's what I thought.
There you go. Yeah.
6 p.m.
My
Eastern.
bad. Sorry.
Yeah. 5
I
Central.
didn't mean.
Yeah, and 4.
Didn't mean to confuse anybody.
4 is Mountain Time, I think. So 4 would be Mountain.
Aaron's got some great books I've bought from him before. Awesome books. Awesome.
I got
and
some.
The price is right.
Yeah, the price is right. Hey, $2 free shipping. And like he's got a thing where, like, if you can enact a bid, like say I claimed the book for $2, but Jeff still wanted that book. See, he can say I'll bid 3 and initiate bidding, which is kind of a cool idea, honestly.
Oh, killer! Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, and my your books you got from me are on the way too. They should be.
You know, I got them. I got a couple of boxes back here, and it's always I got to get to it. But I'm gonna do a couple of opening videos and post them just to start putting some content out of some sort. You know.
Yeah. Well, I started out kind of slow, and now I'm doing like a show like almost every other day. So you kind of get. Honestly, Jeff, you get kind of hooked on it.
Yeah, that's another thing. I got 2 sons, and I've got a lot of other stuff that pulls me away from the computer screen.
Yeah.
So for me to be, a certain time, certain day to have a certain type of show, or like what you do and some other guys do, I got to be careful because sometimes I won't be able to be repeatable. You know, sometimes I get pulled away for stuff. You know.
Yeah, obviously. But I was glad you were able to join me, and hopefully, if you're not busy, you come on next week too.
Oh, absolutely! I love it.
Okay, you want me to call you, Aaron, or we could do I'll tell you what. Come to Discord. We'll talk in my Discord or your Discord, and maybe.
Yeah, I want to check that out for sure. I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear the listening.
I need to know about this. I'll call you, Aaron, or something. We'll yeah. And also, I gotta tell you, I'm going to start a gaming stream on we were talking to Glenn, Flat Earth Santa, yesterday. Yeah, absolutely, Bob. Family first. Well, Aaron. Yeah, they fam first. Aaron, I'll call you in a little bit. Try to help my mom. I think I gotta help my mom with something real quick. I found somebody to buy those stickers. We were talking about, remember the mining stickers? So I have to take a picture of all of them. He wants all the mining stickers from Virginia. So I had to gather them up with a lot of stickers I'm going to take pictures of today, Jeff. So I got to do that for my cousin because he needs the money. He's been having some financial problems. But anyway, thanks, Bobby, for being here, man. I really appreciate all the people that are here. And I think I guess we'll wind it down now. So
yeah,
like I
I'm
said,
looking forward to Killer Clowns. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Don't forget, next week we'll be reviewing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So that should be fun. It's a really fun movie. And then the week after that,
I haven't seen Killer Clowns in a long time.
And you know what we're going to do the week after that, don't you? Ninja 3, The Domination.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'd love to be on that one.
Destroy a ninja.
Yeah, I know that movie inside and out, man.
Actually, I don't even have to watch that movie again. I know it so well. But I'm going to watch it anyway. It's just an excuse to watch it again.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
How about man?
It's that time of year, brother.
Well, let me tell you, dude. There's an old church that really it's owned by the school now, next door to me, and we got this big giant, 200-year-old oak tree in the field next to it, next to the kids' playground. Man. Right? And it just takes pollen all over the town of Pineville, Kentucky, and my mom's car is just yellow looking right now from all the pollen on it.
Yeah, it's out here. The same thing in the West Coast out here too.
It's rough, man. It gets all that pollen, but anyway. So remember all that, and you know, I have videos coming out. I have some more videos that come out tomorrow at 9 in the morning uploading, and I always check out my mail call. But I guess that's it for Bad Cinema for this week. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.
Thanks for having me on.